I'm just going to share my screen with you. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Alrighty, let's enlarge this. Okay. Alrighty. So this one's all about the power of manifesting in your beliefs. So I'll just ask you to mute yourself and just unmute yourself if you want to ask a question or you want to interrupt me, because I'm going to go into some pretty deep stuff. So if something pops up and you're like just not sure about what I'm talking about, just interrupt me, okay? All right, so let's get into it. So I'm curious to know where in the world you're from. If you can pop it in the chat for me. For those of you who don't know, I'm in Melbourne, Australia. And my name is Anthea Spark. I'm not sure exactly where you heard about this webinar from, but for those of you who don't know me, it's a pleasure to meet you. And I wanted to let you know that I'm a soul-centered psychotherapist, a kinesiologist, an energy healer, an intuitive card reader, and a workshop facilitator. And I've been doing this work for about 5 years now. And I'm really passionate about helping people understand what's holding them back and what they can do to move forward. So I'm always doing the work on myself and researching so that I can bring new tools and methods to everyone out there and see if I can help people get further along on their journey. So I'm the proud mum of Olivia and Sophie. They're my little angels, and they have been massive catalysts for my own spiritual awakening and transformation. So they're my reasons why I try to improve myself each and every day, right? Because they are watching everything I do. So I want to be a really good role model to them and also to other children as well. So let me ask you a couple of questions. Let me just let that person in. Okay, so why are you here? So I want you to write down why you're here. Yeah. What is it that's actually, well, what's the main reason that you came to today's webinar? And also write down what are the things you're actually trying to manifest. Is it a new job? Is it a new lover? A new house? You want to change the way your body looks? Are you looking for deeper connections? More love, like from just people in general? A new car? So these are just some examples, right? So it's really important to get clear on what it is you actually are wanting to manifest. So you can go into deep detail about that, okay? So just write down a couple of things there. And then we're going to go into what the process is of manifesting, right? So you can get really clear on it. So just give me a little thumbs up when you're done so I know you're done. I'll just check the chat while you guys are doing that. So we've got Fernandez from Perth, Lainey's in Melbourne, Nadine's in Melbourne, Pearl's in Melbourne, Chris is from the USA, Leanne's from New Zealand, Sue's from Melbourne, hey Sue, and that's it. Okay, cool. So, all right, everyone good? All right, so we'll move it along. Okay, so here are these are the main steps that everyone talks about when it comes to manifesting, right? So you got to get clear on what you want, which was exactly what I just spoke about, right? And then you're going to ask the universe. So you got to be really clear about what you want so you can give specific instructions to the universe. I remember once, it was back when I was 22, I think, so many moons ago, and I was trying to manifest this new job, right? And I wanted to work in an office. I was a horticulturalist back then, so I wanted to work in an office. I wanted to work with, in a room with other people, so I wasn't by myself, with a certain pay package, right? And I got it. I manifested. I couldn't believe it, but I forgot to ask for a window in my office, and there were no windows in this office, right? And I remember when I started the job and I got shown my office and there was no window. I was literally looking at a brick wall. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I forgot that really important detail, because I'm really sensitive in, like I need natural light to feel good, right? And so it's really important that you don't miss out on the really important and specific things that you want. So step 3 is all about work towards your goals. So great, you've asked the universe. Now you can actually start doing things, putting things in place to make, you know, that manifestation happen. The universe kind of helps you when you start doing that. You got to trust the process. So even when things get rough, right, and you're like, you drop into the how, yeah, but how am I going to be able to manifest that when, look at the situation that I'm in right now? You have to trust the process, right? You have to kind of ignore your current reality and trust that you're heading in the right direction. You have to receive and acknowledge what you get. So even if it's like a tiny little thing closer to your manifestation, you have to thank the universe for it. And you have to be open to receiving as well, right? You have to keep your vibration high, which is your energy has to be clear and clean, right? You have to be vibrating in like the high emotions of happiness and joy. And of course, it's not possible to do that all the time, but you have to keep working your way back up there, right? And you have to clear your resistance. So these are the common 7 steps of manifesting. So if you Google how to manifest, you'll find this exactly word for word, right? But there's a whole bunch of other stuff that these steps don't include that you need to understand when it comes to manifesting. Okay, so is everyone with me so far? Okay. Chris, did you have something to say? Are you just on mute?
There we go. I've been studying a lot of things, not just religion and spirituality, the meditation, but the key, what I've found in common, the common denominator to all of it, the key to happiness, success, manifestation is having a thankful heart, is gratitude.
Yes.
The more that you find to be thankful for, the more that you find to be thankful for, the more the universe will give you to be thankful for.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm learning.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
yep.
sorry to
100%
interrupt.
agree with 100% agree with you. Yep. Okay, so let's say you're doing all of those things, but it's just not working, right? And you're just like, oh, what am I doing wrong? Like, seriously, I've literally been following all of these steps. Has anyone had that experience where they follow all the steps and it just doesn't happen? Or it happens, but you don't manage to maintain it. So for example, if you have your own business and you're wanting a certain amount of income to come in, it starts coming in, but then you just can't maintain it and it fluctuates. It goes up and down and up and down, right? Or you're trying to manifest a new lover and you meet one and they come in, but it lasts about 4 months and then they disappear, right? So does anyone have that experience before? Okay. So what I want to explain to you is your belief system, okay? Because your belief system is literally the operating system of how everything manifests in your life, okay? So essentially you are a computer and you have this operating system. And every day when you wake up, the operating system boosts up. So that's your belief system and it begins. Okay, so your belief system is made up of a number of different things. And what I need you to understand is that you are constantly manifesting every single day, okay, through your belief system. So it's not just those big things, the love of the house, the car, the business, it's not just those things, you're constantly manifesting. So this is a pillar, we're going to call this your belief system. And this is you up here, excited, right? You know, when you're like, yep, I'm going to manifest this. And you get all excited and you're like, yep, I'm going to do this. Off I go on this adventure to manifest. And I'm going to be positive and I'm going to do my affirmations every day. But underneath you, happy, excited you, is all of this stuff that you might not be aware of. Okay. And it's really important that you're aware of it because it's literally it's like the ingredients to manifesting what you want. Okay. So the top part, what I just read to you there, the steps, these are the ingredients. Okay. So this is like if we were baking a cake, they were the steps. These are the ingredients for the cake. So let me explain all of the different things that make up your belief system. We'll start down the bottom here, okay? So we have your core beliefs. So these black lines are your core beliefs, and you probably have hundreds of core beliefs, okay? Now, your core beliefs are created when you're little, and I'll go more into that in a second. So let's say you had a belief when you were little, you created a belief when you were little that nobody loved you, or you weren't worthy of attention. Let's use that one. You were not worthy of attention. Okay, you're disregarded. So disregard's a big one amongst people, right? So if your core belief is that you're not worthy of attention, the purple lines in between are your experiences that prove your core beliefs right. Your experiences, every time you ask mum to come and sit with you, to play with you, and she says no, that's proving your belief right, that you're not worthy of attention. Yeah? Or every time you say something to your mum and she ignores you, that disregard, that's proving that belief right. Okay? Now, every time a belief gets proven right, it gets stronger and stronger.
Both sides of my question.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Right? So it gets stronger and stronger. So if you've had this belief your whole life, by the time you're 40, you'll be pretty damn certain that everyone disregards you. Okay, it's been my experience over and over and over again. So everyone else is going to do it. Okay, so then up here we have your inner child. Now your inner child, there's lots of inner children, right? Any younger version of you from yesterday back all the way to the womb is your inner child. These are all the ones that carry those wounds, those traumas. Okay, this is your inner child. So your inner child is going to protect your core beliefs. Your inner child's going to hold you back, right? Because it knows better. If your inner child's been around a lot longer than you have, this new version of you up here going, yeah, I'm going to manifest a new lover. Your inner child is going, hang on a minute, I'm just going to hold you back so you don't go run into a wall and like do some more damage to yourself and get disregarded and heartbroken again. And right. So that's the purpose of the inner child here. Now here, these purple bits here, that's your soul, right? That's that part of you that goes, I know I've been wounded and I know I don't deserve it. And I know that I deserve happiness, and I'm going to find a way to change, and I'm going to keep going. That's that. It might be really small, but that's that glimmer of hope within you. That's that part of you that goes, I do deserve love, right? I do deserve that house. I do deserve that partner who's going to come and sweep me off my feet, treat me like a king or queen. That doesn't go away. It just gets squashed sometimes by experiences and our wounded ego, okay? In here is your mindset. So these are all the things you think and think about yourself over and over again on a daily basis. So if you wake up in the morning and you're like, I have to go to work, I have to clean the house, this is toxic, this life is boring, this is, right, whatever it is you believe. If you, what would be a better thing to say here is the things you think about yourself. I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm an idiot. I can't believe I let that person do that to me 10 years ago. I can't believe I'm still thinking about that. I don't even know why I still like that person. They treated me like shit. All of those things, right? Whatever you're thinking about over and over again, right? How much more do I have to endure? Yeah, that's your mindset. Now all this purple stuff in here, that's all the positive changes you've made. Because I know that you've been wounded, but I know that you've also learned from your mistakes. You've learned from your traumas, right? And so you've done things to improve yourself. Okay, so that's all up here too. That's all kind of supporting this version of you up here who's wanting to manifest. Yeah, so there is kind of a balance here, right? But the core beliefs are powerful. So up here we have our wounded ego, right? Now our wounded ego is that part of us that holds us back from making serious change in our life. It's a big part, this is our identity, a big part of our identity at least, okay? It's that part of you that goes, no, I'm right. Yeah, you might have a fixed mindset where you believe everything you believe to be true is the truth, and like you won't be able to change it, right? Because I've been disregarded, and because it's been proven to me over and over and over and over again. The wounded ego is like, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you can't trust people. People are not to be trusted because they all hurt me, right? Your wounded ego might also go, so when you decide to make changes, it's you up here and you're like, yep, I'm going to make this change, and it's a big one. You might take those steps towards change, and then the wounded ego might go, hang on a minute, who do you think you are? You've never been able to do it before. You're not going to be able to do it now. Let's just come back over here to the discomfort. At least we know what kind of pain we're experiencing here. It's comfortable here. You don't need to go over there and change. You're fine. It will convince you, it'll trick you to think that you don't need to make any changes, because the person over there who has made the changes has a different set of responsibilities, looks different, behaves different, right? So, and that's where we get stuck. That's where the wounded ego can pull us back and go, you don't need to go over there, don't worry about it. Just stay here, okay? And this part up here is how you see your reality. This is the filter you see your life through, right? So all of this stuff that you've experienced, that you believe, that you think about yourself, even the positive changes, the inner child, all make up these like lenses that you have over your eyes that you see the world through. Is everyone with me so far? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna use this example so that I can explain further, right? So let's say you want to manifest a new relationship. So this is what you want to manifest, right? I now manifest the most amazing relationship for myself with someone who loves like I do, is willing to do the work, who's willing to work through it all with me, and wants to create a beautiful relationship with me, right? Sounds pretty good, right? That's what you want to manifest. So you get all excited because you're like, this is going to be amazing. It's going to be wonderful. Okay. And you start to take steps to make that happen, right? So maybe you join some dating apps, or you start to, I don't know, put yourself out there in other ways, right? But it doesn't work, or it works for a little bit like what we said before. So let's go a little bit deeper into using that example with your core beliefs, okay? Now, like I said, when you're little, that's when you create your belief systems. Between the ages of 0 and 6, you create your belief systems based on the things you see adults do and the things you hear adults say, right? So your parents, or the people who raised you, grandparents or whoever it was, are the ones that you look to like they're gods, and that's how you create your beliefs. So at the top, I've got really happy families here, right? Happy baby, happy families. It's all rainbows and sunshine, okay? So if you had that kind of upbringing, which you probably had moments of it through your upbringing, or maybe a good percentage of it was like that, then you would have some healthy core beliefs in there. Yeah, and chances are that you may have created a really happy family for yourself. But the opposite of that is, for example, say a baby who was left in the crib to cry it out. Yeah, someone who didn't come when they needed that love and attention to be held, to be picked up. Someone who, that baby would have created a belief of abandonment. That baby would have that belief of disregard. I'm not important enough to be picked up. Yeah, often people who experience that grow up to become adults who believe they're really unworthy of love. Okay. Here we have a child who is experiencing chaos. The parents are constantly arguing. Okay. So this child is probably going to create a belief that relationships don't work, that when something goes wrong, the way to solve it is through arguing, through yelling, through getting angry, through reacting. Okay. Now, if dad goes off to drink and that's how he deals with it, and mum emotionally shuts down and doesn't talk, again, this kid is watching everything that's unraveling here and is creating his beliefs. Okay, so chances are high that he will probably do both. He will emotionally shut down, and he will drink or use some other form of substance to suppress his emotions instead of dealing with whatever's going on in his relationships. Okay, so is everyone with me here? So this is how beliefs are created. And so then this kid here, what will probably happen later, he'll go to school and he will probably have a teacher who will get angry at him or disregard him in some way. and he will continue to prove his core beliefs right. So he will continue to emotionally shut down. Now, if this child here is told to stop crying, which is essentially telling a child to stop feeling what you're feeling, he will further shut down and suppress his emotions. Okay? So this poor kid is going to find it really hard to have healthy relationships with the opposite sex, or whatever sex he chooses, right? Okay, so is everyone good? Everyone's good. Okay, so let's move to this part of the pillar, okay, this part. So let's start with, let's go down here. Let's go to your soul. So we've already talked about the soul, right? The soul is resilient. You cannot kill your soul, right? It can be crushed, right? But every time you make positive changes in your life, the soul gets stronger. Yeah, your will to like move towards the changes you want in life, they become stronger. You actually will probably start to make those changes, even if you feel the discomfort, even if the wounded ego tries to hold you back, you charge forward. And that will give you this really positive outlook, right? And you'll start to feel proud of yourself. So the mindset we spoke about, really important for all of us to have a daily routine where we improve our mindset, okay? Because literally, you know, you're not just constantly creating your reality through your thoughts, right? That's not a true statement. There's a lot of other things that come through. So let's say you think a negative thought. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to manifest, okay? What you do with that negative thought is important though. If you start to believe it and you allow that thought to become a belief, that's when it can become dangerous. Yeah, we can't be constantly thinking positive thoughts all day long. But it is, you can easily either let that thought go and release it, just observe it and go, you know what, oh, that was interesting, and release it. Or it can hinder you in some way. So it's really important to be aware of your mindset. Okay, the wounded ego we spoke about, so I'm not going to go over that again, but how you see your reality. So this is what I'm talking about. I don't trust men, I don't trust women because they disregard me, or they, you know, everyone abandons me. Okay, now it's not just from one or two experiences. This is in your core beliefs. This is deep-seated stuff, and it's probably been suppressed and hidden in your shadow. Okay, now the thing with this is these lenses also act as magnets. Now, if I'm seeing the world like this, I don't trust men and women, or mere women, I'm going to look for people who can prove my beliefs right? And I'm going to unconsciously recreate them so that I can remain stuck. Okay, so is that making sense to everyone? So these are all the things. Are there any questions so far? Okay, so let's move on.
Can I ask
Yes,
something, Anthea?
absolutely.
Listen, just going back to with the manifesting.
Yep.
I wrote it down before. I'll be very quick. I went to buy a coffee on Friday, and there was this coffee place that had one of their customers gave them $300 to pay forward. And the guy offered me a free coffee. And I said to him, thank you very much. However, I would like to pay forward my free coffee to someone because I can afford it. So, you know, thinking I did the right thing, right? I mean, look, I could have taken the coffee and said, oh, what, this is fantastic. Wow, the universe is really, you know, saying, Pearl, go for it. But I had an opportunity to say, well, I can afford to buy a coffee. I want to pay forward what I would have been given to someone else who can't afford it. Excuse me. How does that sound to you?
It sounds good. It sounds great. I guess, you know, like it's lovely that you did that. My only question to you would be is, do you struggle to receive?
That's what I was thinking of later on. I thought, oh my God, I was given, you know, I was being offered a free coffee. Yeah.
Because if let's say you struggle to receive, I would take that as it's almost like the universe was giving you an opportunity, regardless of whether you could afford it or not. The universe was presenting you with an opportunity to receive.
Yes.
right? And even that's a beautiful thing you did, because now someone else is going to be able to get that, you know, like to experience that.
Yes.
Next time I'd invite you to allow yourself to receive that.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
I
Yeah.
will.
And see if it feels right to you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. It's a really good point.
Yeah. Thank you for hearing that too.
No worries. Okay. So let's talk about the things that hold you back, right? So we've gone through the process. Now, these things anchor you down. Now, if you want to raise your vibration, right? Yes, you can meditate every day. Yes, you can laugh every day. Yes, you can do all those things. But unless you're dealing with and releasing things like your emotions and your negative thoughts and healing your traumas and changing your beliefs, you're only going to be able to raise your vibration so much. Okay. Now, every time you release or change a belief, when you release suppressed emotions, what you're doing is you're raising your vibration to a certain level, right? You don't go back down after that. Yeah, because what will happen is every time you raise your vibration, you will become aware of maybe deeper layers of emotions or deeper layers of negative thoughts. But what you'll do is you'll start taking action to release them, because once you start releasing all of this weight, this energetic weight that you carry within you, you'll begin to feel better. And you'll look back and you'll be like, Jesus, I can't believe I carried all that stuff with me for so long. Most of us do it unconsciously. But if you want to start manifesting, you want to start really seriously manifesting, you have to start healing and removing and changing all of this stuff down here. And the actions down here, I'm talking about self-sabotaging actions. Yeah? So when you know something is not good for you, but you keep doing it over and over again. Like when you say, yes, sure, I'd love to come over to your place, but you actually don't want to go over, and you should have said no, but you didn't. Okay? Every time you take a positive step towards raising your vibration or moving towards who you truly authentically are, you raise your vibration, right? The higher you vibrate, the easier you can receive, right? Has anyone had an experience like that where they've released emotions, they've changed their negative thinking and it's made them feel better? You know?
Yep, I have.
Yep. So you don't want to go back there, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you don't want all that weight dragging you down, because we know that when we are vibrating in those really heavy emotions like shame and guilt and anger and depression, we manifest more of that. Yeah, we manifest more of it. So that's why it's really important every single day to try and be aware of what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you're speaking, because you're constantly manifesting, right? So these are the steps that I've added to the first 7 steps. You have to release your suppressed emotions. Your suppressed emotions are like poison to your soul. Yeah? They will literally hold you down, weigh you down. You need to allow your belief systems to collapse, and then you need to change them, right? So if your belief system is, you know, I don't trust men/women, well, how do you think you're going to find this amazing new lover?
Anthea,
yes,
I've got a real big one, which has only come up to me this morning.
yeah.
It's about how to feel safe in this world.
Okay. So is one of your beliefs that you don't feel safe?
Yeah, that the world's not safe.
Okay. So you want to create a belief that I am safe in the world, right? So
Yeah.
what you can do is you can map that out. Well, what does that actually mean? What is it that's going to make me feel safe in the world?
Okay.
This is what you have to ask yourself. What does that look like?
Right. Yes. Okay. Understand.
Does it look like me being really in touch with my intuition? So I know when I meet someone and I'm not really sure about them, does it mean that I'm listening to my intuition and taking action accordingly? Does it mean owning a home? Does it mean having one person I trust? What does that mean to you? Yeah. And then you have to build that new belief. Like you have to create it and affirm it and convince yourself that you are safe in the world, and do take actions towards convincing yourself that you can and are safe in the world. Right? It's an internal thing. It's all about you. Right?
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's building those new beliefs. You have to get so clear on what that looks like for you. Because once you do, and you start making those changes, the universe will mirror that back to you. Yeah, you'll start having experiences where you feel safe in the world. You'll start having experiences where you can trust people. And it may not be through these massive things like these big and amazing relationships. It might be through strangers coming to help you on the street, right? It might be you asking someone for help and they actually help you and they do 10 times more than that. And you're like, oh, wow, well, you know, people will prove that to you because now you're changing your internal stuff and that's affecting the lenses that you see the world through. Yeah. And then you start to have, and you're like, oh my God, it's working. You'll start to get evidence of it. So you need to create new beliefs. You need to improve your mindset. That is, I can't even begin to tell you how important your mindset is. You need to create self-awareness. Yeah. So that means being really aware of how you're behaving. If you are, for example, judging someone else, that is going to lower your vibration. That is you avoiding doing the work. If someone triggers you, that's where you need to go within. This is how you create self-awareness. I want to be today. And you know, like when you get up in the morning, you might be like, today, I want to be so self-aware of the things that I think, the things that I say, my energy towards others. I want to become so aware of it that it slaps me in the face when I'm out of line. Yeah? So that I can change it. Right? Anytime I'm not being kind, anytime I'm judging someone, right? And we're all human. It's hard because we have these connections with people who have hurt us and have been around a long time, and we have to see them for whatever reason. And so the more you do that, the cleaner your energy is going to be, because now you're going to be showing up as your true authentic self more and more and more. And this is where you align your actions, thoughts, and words. If I think I'm a really nice, kind, open-hearted person, and I see my ex and I'm rude to him, well, that just wipes out that statement altogether. Okay? I can't be rude to him and nice to everyone else. It doesn't work like that. Yeah? You've got to sort your stuff out that you got going on. Everything you say, think, and do need to align. If they don't, you will create like tears in your vibration. That's when the bad stuff comes in, those negative experiences that we don't like, the chaos, all of that stuff. You need to cut ties from the younger versions of yourself. All of the ones that are holding you back, right? You need to have a powerful routine for daily practices, like doing a mindset affirmation track. So I have a mindset affirmation track that I created for my clients on YouTube. It's called Mindset Magic. And my channel's Anthea Spark. If you do that every single morning, the minute you wake up, you will begin to experience a change in your day. It'll keep you in a really positive state throughout your day. And you need to clean up the filter you see life through. So remember, I remember, you know, and this one was a really hard pill for me to swallow. I remember I went to this cafe with my 1-year-old, and this man walked in and he looked at her and he smiled. And my first thought was like, oh my God, it's a pedophile. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I just thought that. Right? I was like, this man is just having a beautiful moment, exchanging a smile with my child, and I think he's a pedophile. I'm like, that is ugly, Anthony. You got to go sort that shit out. Yeah. And it was because of my conditioning and the way I was raised and the fear of pedophiles being everywhere. And I didn't want anyone to hurt my kids, right? But that was not me living in an aware, empowered state. That was me living from a fear-based reality. Yeah. And so where it can be really ugly, I was like, okay, well, you know, it's not just, you're not just walking around thinking this about everyone. It's because of the pillar. I had to go deep into the pillar and find where it had come from. Okay. So you got to clean up the filter you see your life through, and that will change everything. Yeah. So any questions about all of that? Did that help? Was that helpful? Did that give you some awareness? Yeah. Okay. So good. I'm glad. So for those of you who want to stay and find out about the program that I have starting next week, I invite you to stay. And if this is where we part ways, thank you for coming along and watching the webinar, and I hope that you got something out of it. You can also, if you want to find out more about what I do, you can come and follow me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook. And if you want to message me, like you want to like find out a bit more about private sessions, or you have questions about today's webinar that you don't want to share here, just message me under Anthea Spark in Messenger on Facebook, okay? And for those of you who want to stay, I'll jump into talking a little bit more about the program that I've got starting next week. So this program is called The Observer, and it's all about everything, changing everything we just spoke about and using the 12 laws of the universe to completely change your life and understand how you can use the 12 laws to manifest what you want, right? So there's one law that we all hear about, which is the law of attraction, right? And that's the main one we hear about, but we don't hear about the other ones. And so I'm going to share this with you now. So this is all about understanding how to harness the 12 laws of the universe to improve your life. So the first law is the law of divine oneness, that we're all connected through creation. Law number 2 is the law of vibration. Everything in the universe has a frequency and a vibration. Law number 3, the law of correspondence. Our lives are created by the subconscious patterns. This is the belief system and the things we're constantly thinking, right? These are the loops. The law of attraction. This is the law of vibration in action. So where we vibrate, remember how I spoke about the negative emotions? Where we vibrate, we create more of that. The law of inspired action, taking action in order to bring what you want to fruition. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Even the smallest action can have a profound effect. This is what I was talking about. One small shift in your energy, one little releasing of anger or something, you will begin to see it. The law of cause and effect. So the law of karma states that any action causes a reaction. So every time, so what Pearl said before about how she gave her free coffee away to someone else, that's going to come back to her tenfold, right? It's not just negative stuff we do, any positive stuff we do, it comes back to us, right? The law of compensation. It's all about receiving compensation for all of your contributions. So this is about now, Pearl, when that comes back to you tenfold, you're going to be open to receiving it, right? And letting it back in. The law of relativity. So we are the ones who assign meaning to things. So we choose how to regard things. Yeah. So again, this is about the lenses we see the world through. This is also about victim mentality too, right? The thing of life is happening for you, right? It's not about that things are happening to you, it's happening for you. The law of polarity, identifying what we don't want so we can get clearer on what we do want. So often we beat ourselves up about the things we've done and the things we've experienced. But the reality is that if we never experience those things, we'll never know what it is that we actually want. It's like when you go to an ice cream shop and you see all this ice cream. Well, if you don't know that, you know, that salted caramel is delicious, right? Then how are you going to know if you want it or not? Like, you got to try it. You got to try everything. Yes, this is really about changing the way we view the past. The law of perpetual motion. Everything is forever changing, and our job is to embrace the ride. It's about releasing rigidness and the idea that things have to go a certain way in order for you to get them, right? And to become more flexible. The law of giving and receiving. So giving and receiving operate within all of us, and in order to create flow, they need to be in balance, right? So often, most of us are really good at giving, especially those who have experienced childhood trauma. We give, but we have to eventually learn how to open up and receive. In the receiving, we actually become better givers as well. So they're the 12 laws, and this is what you get in the program. So every week you will have a 1-hour session with me, and that goes for 12 weeks. You will get weekly activations which relate to that specific law that we're doing. So the activations are a deep meditation that I take you through to help you understand and unlock that certain law as well. You'll get a workbook to work through. You'll get a mindset affirmation track to help you have set up your mindset in a positive way every day. So you get to listen to that daily. You'll get support via Messenger for the duration of the program. So if you come and do the program with me, I support you through Messenger as well. So if you're struggling in it during the week and you're like, I really need some support because this big thing has come up for me, I invite you to reach out to me. You will create a new roadmap for your life and support to help you move through it. So this is what I was talking about before. A lot of people struggle with that change part, right? But with the right support, you can, and the right tools, that's the other thing. If you have the right tools, you can move through any change more easily, more effortlessly, okay? And you'll get a deeper understanding of the laws of the universe and how to manifest anything that you desire in your life. So what you can expect during this, and I won't read through all of it, but I can send it to you if you want to read through it, is a big transformation, right? Inner freedom. So having that inner peace, self-empowerment, more of a feeling of alignment, right? A new empowered mindset. Because once you do this, you won't go back to how you are now or how you have been. And if you're at a place in your life where you feel really good and you're feeling really positive, this is a really good program for you because it's just going to help you raise your vibration even more, okay? Create positivity through your powerful daily practices. You'll have more of a sense that you can manifest all that you want, right? Because you'll understand yourself better now. And you'll have a new sense of self as well. So that's what you get during the program. The program offering is $297 USD for the 12 weeks. I've really heavily reduced all of my programs because here in Melbourne, at least, we're all in lockdown, and we have been for the last 4 weeks, I think it is. And a lot of people are working less and can't really afford much. So I've reduced my prices for that. If you're a member of the Path of the Heart, which is my subscription group, you do get the program for $197. So the program starts on the 4th of September and it goes all the way through to November 20th. And all the sessions are recorded. So if you miss a session, you can watch the replay of it. So I will stop sharing now and I will see if anyone has any questions, and I'll send you the link to the program as well. So I'll just do that now, just give me a sec. Okay, so this is the link if you're interested in joining us. This is the link to the program. I'm just going to have a look at the comments here. So Chris is saying, my mouth and attitude, old beliefs have always blocked my blessings. Inner peace is my desire. Yes. Inner peace is what I say to everyone. Your main goal should be to have inner peace every single day and to remove anything out of your way that doesn't bring you that. Pearl's coffee comment here. Beautiful. Does anyone have any questions? No? Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming along to today's webinar. I hope that it helped you in some way. If you do have any more questions about the program, you can, like I said, you can message me in Messenger. Otherwise, I am sending you all so much love and wishing you all the best on your journey. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome.